Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Armor Girls Project, and we have the Gore Magala. This is based off the Monster Hunter series, and also this is going to be a blind review, meaning I know little or not at all about the character, other than it's amazing. Yep. The reason behind that is that the game is not for me. Yep, I've tried it, just doesn't work for me, but I do like the concept. It's Monster Hunter. You hunt around monsters, you harvest materials, and you get to create awesome armor from that, and among other things. Anyways, Gore Magala is a wyvern. I keep thinking those are dragons, but they're wyverns, and they're quite amazing. And in terms of the design that they made, and they made the Armor Girls project for this, quite cool. And when I saw this, and from the preview pictures, it is amazing. Anyways, here's the review for this box art right here. I got mine from Tatsu Hobby. I'll provide the link down below if you're looking to get one. So here it is. It's quite big. Also, just a heads up, Armor Girls Project are a little bit expensive. So do expect to pay quite a bit on them. They're typically over $100. But just that's the way they are. Mainly because you're getting a figure with a lot of accessories. And as you can see from the back here. So it seems like you can change her from... It's kind of weird to call it Frenzy in both modes. I thought the Frenzy mode is when... yeah, she gets all this opened up version. But I guess you get the Frenzy mode long skirt here. And you get the Raging Frenzy mode there. Anyways. But yeah, it's a cool looking design. And I believe the Gore Magala has 6 limbs, including that the wings. And I think another trait on the Gore Magala is the feelers. I guess here it's kind of folded down, or it's not exposed like this one here. So that's quite cool. And it seems like we're getting some serrated swords here. And I believe that turns into the bow. And we'll see that as I open this and continue the review. So I'm just going over the box here. There we go. Let's open it up. Alright, so here we go. Now, without the armor, she seems really small, and she kind of is. She's about 5 inches at this setup right now. You have the base, you have one of the arms. Now you get 2 more. This works well if you want to display her with wings later on. And you have to assemble this if you need to. But otherwise, like for this, I'm just going to use the pegs. But probably with the wings later on, I'm going to have to assemble those. So, a little assembly is required for this, for the stand. Otherwise, here it is. And let's take a closer look. Alright, so taking a closer look at this. The details on her dress is just amazing. Yep. Really cool. You get different shades of purple, you know, from the light. Then you have the darker ones here. It kind of is like a... like scales. Yep, and you got the ribbons. You got the stockings right there. Or leggings, I guess. You get the platform shoes. You know, quite a nice. In terms of paint app, for the most part, it's clean. I don't really see much of an issue, but you know, some places could be a little bit better, but yeah, overall, from what you can see here, it looks really nice. Yep. Now, going over articulation, you got the neck here. She can't really look up because of her hair here. Now, I have a problem with this one. There is a little peg there. This has a tendency to pop off. Let me just show that. It's connected in a really small peg there. It is kind of like a ball joint. You can rotate that. Yeah, so just a heads up, that does have a tendency to pop out. Yeah, so make sure it's in all the way, and hopefully it stays up. Might have helped out to add a little bit of floor polish on that. Can tighten that joint. There's a big connection on the back there. Then you got your joints. I believe it's ball jointed towards the torso. Got that fairly good articulation with that. There's not really much of bicep swivel other than that connection point from that ball joint there. You get your elbows, you got your wrist joints. Yep. You got your torso here. For the skirt, it is in two-piece, and this part is a little bit flexible. And you can see from the other side, waist, it's maybe okay. I just need to kind of break in the joint a little bit. It's a little stuck, but there we go. Yeah, fairly good articulation. Then there's a peg here where we can swap out the armor later on, but that kind of gives us the tie swivel right there. The knee bend, then you got your ankles here. So fairly good articulation using or just having her base form here. Quite nice. Alright, so for the hands, we have the closed fist. And all of these are pairs, which is great. Other than that, you have this particular hand here to hold her parasol or umbrella. It's kind of interesting too, the trigger finger, it's kind of sticking out a little bit. So maybe you can use this to hold a pistol or a rifle. It's a possibility. I haven't tried it yet. You also have this relaxed hands here. You get a pair of that, as well as a pair of open hands right here. So I believe that's a total of 4 pairs of hands, and I'm gonna swap this out. Maybe I'll go with this one here. And it's just a little ball joint there, so again, every time you swap out this, you know, take a little extra caution to put it in. There we go. So that's that. While we're at it, we have the umbrella here, or the parasol. It is a cool looking design. It's interesting. Actually, this one transforms later on, but yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hold this. There we go. She can hold it with her arms outstretched, no problem. And let's see if I can, you know, have her on the shoulder like this. So yeah, it's quite nice. It fits her quite well. Anyways, that's that. Let's go ahead and go over the faces. Alright, so for the faces, you have the smiling one here, kind of like the neutral that you get out of the box. Then you can swap it out with this other ones. There's one here that looks to her left. Yep, and she's still smiling. And then you have this one looking straight ahead with a big, well, kind of like a bigger smile. Or maybe a grin, but not showing her teeth. There's a little bit of a mishap there. I'm not sure if you can see that. But it's okay. It's on the lips. That's what I'm referring to. Otherwise, you have the anger face here with the mouth open. Yep. And you have one where she's kind of hurt, I guess. Or kind of sad. So that's great. We get 5 pairs of faces in total. It's quite nice. Alright, so next part is swapping the limbs. So this involves just popping out the joint. There we go. And just putting this on. Now, take a little extra care when you put this on. And this is gonna wobble a lot. It's on a ball joint. So there's a tendency for us to kind of chase it. So probably the best way, kind of hold it in an angle that it won't move, maybe, and just kind of push it in. Obviously, the first time you do this, it's gonna be a little rough, but there you go. Yep, almost there. You know, good thing there's no sleeve on top, otherwise that's gonna be more troublesome. And there goes the hair. I'm just gonna leave it off for now. Now the lower part, we're just gonna pop this off. Same thing. We have the leg here. Wonder if there's a, well, this one. Alright, so this is probably it. And sometimes the leg has a certain angle. And you want to put it in the right way. Alright. Try to get this thing on here. Alright. I think I got it. Alright, there we go. So it's actually kind of cool to have her half transform. But just looking at the height of that, she is gonna gain a half an inch from that new leg. Alright, so here we go. I've transformed the other side as well. And she looks amazing. Quite nice. Now this comes with two other pairs of hands as well. You have the open hands here. And you have another one kind of like to hold. This is probably for the swords right here. And let's do a swap right now. Alright, so let's pop that off. You got that bull joint there. Now, this is one of those that you kind of feel bad. And what about the other limbs that you just, swap out with and you don't use them anymore? Yeah, I kind of wish there's kind of like just like a statue version where you can use the extra limbs and put it there and kind of have it displayed next to her or something. Yeah, I just don't like things just lying around. But then again, why am I complaining? I mean, you get a transformable figure. Yeah, well, just a side thought, I guess. Alright, as I try to put this on here and struggle, I think we're almost... Anyways, I think I got it there. And let me grab the swords. Alright, so let's add on the blades. So here we go. Nice serrated blades here. I really like that. You also got that nice pink on the backside. And we're just gonna slide this in here. And, well, there we go. Then do it the same way on the other side. Oh, that's a little bit backwards. There we go. It does stay there quite nicely. It does not fall off. That's a good thing. You can do a lot of cool poses with this. Quite nice. Let's see here if I can... There we go. Maybe need a little bit of backlight there. Yeah, but really amazing swords. And also this does transform into a bow, which we probably do now, because once I have the skirt or the wings, it's gonna be a little hard. Alright, so let's do that. So for that transformation, let's go ahead and grab the swords here. There we go. And there are grooves in there on each side. We're gonna use this, and I want to make sure I do this correctly. Yep. So it goes like that. Just slide that in. There we go. Same thing on the other side. There we go. Now the effect part here, there's hooks, so we just rest. But the thing that really grabs on is it's kind of like a clip here. Now I've actually made a mistake and had it backwards, but or before. So when you put this on, it does have a tendency to kind of warp the plastic. So be careful. But there we go. It does kind of bite in the grooves between the plastic in there. Anyways, there we go. And you kind of just have to align this edges here. Now, hopefully I get this correctly. Maybe it's on the other side. Huh. Yeah, I think I did it wrong. Alright, so maybe I'll do it this way. Does that work a little bit better? Perhaps. Let's push this in. There's really no good way to do this. Alright, I think that's a little bit better, because we need to have a little bit of space here for the hands. That's why I'm kind of trying to figure it out. And I think this is the right way to do it. Alright, so getting back to her, we're gonna swap this out. Obviously you want to use this one to hold the bow, or the end of that arrow, although it's kind of like a magical thing. Alright, so we're gonna slide this in here. It's gonna be a little troublesome with that effect, but well, the key is you just want to open up that thumb area there just to slide it in, and just bear with me. There we go. Alright, I think I got it. And you're just gonna have to hold this in. There's really no good way to grab this end of the effect part. I think I'll just settle for that. And just make sure you got that bow ends as much as you can there. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the effect. Alright, so it's a little finicky trying to get her in that right pose because the problem is her arms are not long enough. Yeah. So if you try to get it outstretched as much and have her looking straight, that could be a little troublesome. Especially this one here as well. Just getting that the right length. But that's pretty much what I did. So she's grasping it like this. I think on the instructions it was holding it like this, and let's show that here. Yeah, I don't think this doesn't quite work out well because from here she's looking this way, not where she's supposed to be aiming. And even then, getting that hair to align properly, you're gonna have to kind of loop around, put the arm underneath. So you gotta work it a little bit, but you get her in that right pose where she's looking straight ahead with that bow. Yep. Anyways, I just want to demonstrate that. Moving on. Alright, so I went ahead and put her back. I didn't realize that you don't want to put the armor on first, so when she's in this mode with the dress on. So here we go. It's kind of tricky putting in this. I've opened one side and I'm trying to get it the same way as the other. It's kind of odd. And I mean, you see this gap here. This whole one I didn't touch, but everything is compact. Now I'm trying to get into that same format. I'm having a little difficulty. But anyways, you got this tail here. It's quite nice. It is hollow on the underside though, but that's underneath. There is a tendency for it to pop out from that connection there, which happened to me a few times, but there's that mode right there. Now, to put her in this mode, you can just open this up here and pop this out right there. So basically the same peg that we use for the stand. Set her aside here. Now I believe this could be taken off as well, and we can use that as a connection point too. It's just held by friction, so this does tend to pop up as well. Let's see what we got here. So we got this peg here, and pegged here as well, and this is where that tail is. It's actually not too bad, but in a certain angle this will pop off, but I'm just gonna leave it there. It's kind of like the bow on her side. This is nicely detailed. I like it quite a lot. It did have a little bit of paint, like the purple splashes there, but it's okay. It's on the other side. So you just have this hinge here for articulation. It's a bit stiff, but there we go. Alright. Now for the arms. Yeah, I'm having a little difficulty. I'm trying to figure out how come this seems to be a lot more curved than this? Maybe it's this. Maybe had it all wrong. So I'm trying to figure that out, and hopefully, yeah, because it's almost the same. Well, let me do it off camera and see if I can figure out what's the best way to put it back. Alright, I fiddled around with that skirt and it is what it is. Moving on, I put back her armor on and yeah. Right, let me just reorganize this. So we're gonna swap out the hair, which is here. There's the feelers there, kind of like the horns. Quite nice. So we're just gonna pop this out here. There we go. The faceplate does have a tendency to come off with. And just gonna push it back here. I'm just gonna go with this face. I think I I think it's the best one. Neutral. There we go. And this thing popped up again. Right. And there it is. Now before I put this onto the skirt, I might as well reorganize that one. Alright, so for this one, you know, everything's kind of connected together, but we're gonna just open this up. Actually, before we get to that, I might as well pop it off. I think it's a lot easier to work one than holding everything else. So for this one, you got the fingers here. Everything seems to be all connected. So there's this peg here. This doesn't really do much. Yeah, it doesn't really connect, but it's there. I think it's just to help kind of enclose everything. So we're just gonna extend that one. We're gonna slowly open this. The thing is, there is a tab here. It's kind of hard to show, but let me open up this flaps here. Okay. All right, there we go. So it is connected by a ball joint. And, there we go. So as you open this out, there is a tab here. And there is like a peg hole slit right there. Now, if you move the elbow, they go misaligned. So before you put everything back to kind of like the skirt armor, you make sure you align that hole before you push this in and lock it in place. Likewise, do not try to open this while that peg is there. It's gonna break or stress the plastic. So open this up first. Make sure it's somewhere in the middle. There's a gap here. This allows you to kind of put it right in the middle. Then you gotta move this scale petals to the side, and now this allows you to fully open the arm. Well, for the most part. There we go. Now, the idea with this is, well, it's supposed to be in this side here. Alright, we're gonna just open it up, kind of like an outer form. Same thing with this one here. There we go. It's like the pedal. Same thing with this hand here. So there is a joint, a ball joint there. Then this thing you kind of have to flip around, and like so. You got a ball joint there. You got your claws, and I think that's it. I do have a problem. Not sure if I already mentioned this, but some of this ball joint onto the base of the hand it's kind of loose sometimes. I just pop them off or wick some floor polish, the clear floor polish, either Pledge or Future brand, and let it dry a little bit, then pop it back in, and that should help you with the loose joint problem. So that's that. Now there is a peg connection here. This is for the parcel to be able to hold that, and I'll do that in a bit, but you get some nice articulation, hinge, ball joint, so it's quite nice. The thumb, it's only a ball joint there. There's no extra hinge. So yeah, it's kind of, there's a lot of stuff on there. It's kind of organized in a way. Now I'm gonna do the other side as well and kind of reorganize it. Alright, so here we go. I've opened it all up. It does take a little time, and there's a little bit of maneuvering of all the joints and petals and scales. But here we go. It is connected on the back skirt, so I mean, you can kind of move it. There is a tendency for it to kind of, yeah, well, I mean, gravity is always going to be there, but you can move the arms up. You can move them about, but it does definitely help if you have the other peg or another arm here to kind of hold it in place for support. But I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. Well, I think it's okay. Yep. Alright, so with that, lastly, we have the parasol here that can transform. This does open up. Whoops. open up here, and if you push this in, and I push it kind of all the way for it to lock. Yep. So it's kind of weird, but it becomes like a ball or some kind of weapon, and this kind of is, I guess, kind of like a blaster or something that can chomp down something. So she can hold this with those hands, or otherwise we have this special connector here. Hence we have that little socket there on the palm, and peg it here. Then with this, and just getting this resituated. There we go, and we're just gonna attach it there. And yeah, so she can hold it with that particular hand. More than likely, we'll probably use it for the sword as well. Maybe if that connector part will work. But there we go. Overall, it's a nice gimmick. I would have to say all the scales and petals, they're a little troublesome to maneuver with. I wish they're a little bit easier, but more than likely you're just gonna have her in a certain pose. But overall, the look of this is quite amazing. All that scale details. Actually, let's take a closer look on those. Alright, so having a closer look on the scales here. You see that the nice detail there? Quite nice. Yeah, just this figure has a lot of awesome details on it. And yeah, overall, this is an amazing figure. I highly recommend getting it if you're a fan of Monster Hunter or just a fan of AGP. You know, it's something to consider. Overall, it's a great figure. I mean, there are a few disadvantages that I mentioned in this review. For one, managing all these petals here, it could challenge your patience a little bit. But taking time, you can work it out. And it kind of goes along with a lot of AGP. They have so much accessories that putting it on does take time. Yeah. But overall, I've really enjoyed this figure. And again, got my from Tatsu Hobby. I'll provide the link down below if you're looking to get one. And I think that's about it. If you got questions, I'll try my best to answer those for you. And I think that's it. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.